House of Words podcast. We are your hosts. This is Nicole.
And Armani here.
Dexter here.
And a few weeks back, Armani suggested that we check out P-Valley on Stars. It was one of your sleeper shows. And by the time we started watching it, there was 6 episodes already, Dexter? 5, 6 episodes?
Yeah.
Okay. We binge watched those. And then we were hooked. It was hooked. It's kind of...
From episode 1, right off the bat.
Okay, so Armani, since this was your sleeper pick, you go ahead and tell us what you thought about it first.
The overall show? Or
Take us on a grand tour of Chuckalisa.
Straight to the Pynk. It's about a strip club that is operating in Chuckalisa, Mississippi, and they're trying to stay afloat while going against some big investors that are trying to buy out the club and build a casino on that land. And through it, we're introduced to a lot of different characters, a lot of different situations going on.
The owner of the Pynk, where this takes place at, Uncle Leonard.
Uncle Clifford.
Why do I keep calling him? I did that before. I called him Uncle Leonard. Is a gay man who dresses as a woman. So, you know what? I don't even say he's in drag because he's always presenting as one.
And the show does go between dressing as.
Yeah, and someone said him one time and corrected it to she, or said something about he corrected somebody one time. So we'll just say, I don't know.
She.
They, them is probably the best pronoun. We're not going to stay in that. It's going to keep slipping because this was not talked about before. So this is just an on the cuff what pronouns we're about to use to address Uncle Clifford. So we'll just have here and not. Anyway, so you got the strippers. So you got Mercedes, the main stripper.
Yeah, like the headliner.
OG.
Yes, the OG. You got Mississippi.
Miss M.I. Crooked letter I. Yeah.
Next up.
We get her backstory. Basically, she's being abused by her boyfriend.
Her white boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. Extra white. He ain't even a little white. He extra white.
He country white. Probably racist white.
Probably racist. Probably why he beats on her. Because he's low-key, racist. It says she has mad kids, but we've only seen one kid, the baby, that she would bring to the club. Because Mercedes, I think, one time made a comment about all them kids. Or somebody made a comment about all them kids. Right. Rounding out the trifecta is Gidget. So, of course, you got to have a white girl in the strip club in Mississippi. Gidget's claim to fame is she has really nice legs. I didn't think her legs were all that, though, but her legs was mad basic.
Yo.
Did you think her legs were anything special, Dexter?
No. But it's not. I'm sure she didn't get casted for her legs. No, that's just something that was written. I'm sure she just got casted because she fit the part. She didn't have to actually strip, and she probably got casted for her talking. So I'm sure her legs probably didn't have a lot to do with it. She doesn't have her own arc in the show, so.
Not a really fleshed out arc, but I could see season we get a little bit more of her. Rounding out the Pynk cast for the most part, you have Diamond, who is the Drake-esque bouncer.
I guess.
Light-skinned, emotional. You know how y'all do.
I'm trying to take Mississippi out the club.
Yeah.
I can't see him. I know him from something else, so I see a little differently. I can't see him as this tough bouncer marine guy. First of all, his name is Diamond, and that's weird. Well, that's fine though. However, he was on Haves and Have-Nots, and he was the good.
Didn't you watch?
Weird.
No, you watched
that was
Greenleaf.
a Tyler Perry, yeah.
How do you watch one of them old country black folk church
And
shows?
Greenleaf is coming back today,
God.
season 5.
Anyway,
shade.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit. If you want to go back over all my Greenleaf shade, it's somewhere mixed in episodes where Armani randomly talks about Greenleaf.
Got it.
We have
Autumn Night.
We haven't gotten Autumn. Autumn is last. We're talking about the main beginning, who was already at the Pynk before Autumn got there. And then there's the security guard guy. What was his name?
Big L.
Big L, who is security as well at the Pynk. And I don't think any of the other strippers really had names that are memorable. Does anybody remember any of the other strippers' names?
No, they didn't have storylines.
All right, so that was our main. We then get introduced to Autumn Night, who is running from something. Her past. Basically, she's running from a man who it's pretty easy to tell early on. He's beating her ass. She decides to hide out in a strip club. But she has strip club skills. She has coming, so it's not like she didn't know what she was doing. And that I found that interesting at first. I was like, wait, why did she already
She kind of had that, like, I could be a stripper. Like, I can move to the rhythm kind of thing at first. Because she didn't know how to strip on a pole. They had to teach her how to.
If you've ever, what was that show, like, Beyond the Pole? Not all strippers know how to strip. Like there are some strippers who just dance, and then there are some who are pole workers. Not everybody is a pole worker.
I agree with both of you, especially Armani, in the sense of, yeah, they showed that she probably felt like she was confident enough to move a certain way, which she is. You know, see what she does. However, like you said, he's not for the pole. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Huh? I said, I feel like it was high key, one of those, like, you got that pretty light skinned girl. And
exactly.
You ride off that. Like,
exactly.
I mean,
they make sure that they put that out there a lot.
Yeah, that was said a lot. Like, oh, you think you light skinned, so you give a lot of shit. So
it's worth noting that OG and Mississippi are not light skinned.
Yes, they are very beautiful brown skinned women.
Yes, they are.
So Mississippi's trying to get out the club. She's trying to retire. She's planning for retirement. She saved up 20 G's that she lent to
Mercedes,
right. Trying to get out the club. God, I hate when really hate when I say the wrong. Anyway, so Mercedes is trying to get out the club. She's trying to retire. She's got $20,000 that she saved up and she gave to her mama to hold. Okay.
Mhm. What rule number 1 of the Pynk? Let the Pynk be a stepping stone, not your tombstone. You got to get up out the club.
Oh snap! All right. That is funny. Where they said that part at?
There was a bunch of Uncle Clifford had a bunch of little like gems that they was dropping. Oh, I really wish we had actually wrote them down.
What he said? He said no coins in the G-string, just dollars.
Yeah. There's a lot of great little Uncle Clifford euphemisms spread out through this thing. That Mississippi actually dropped quite often to people, but. So we get Mercedes storyline. Again, we've got Mississippi trying to kind of come up and Autumn Night running away.
It's also noted that she did lose her daughter in a hurricane that happened right before, I guess, the show took place.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, where did she come from? She was in the hurricane?
Yeah, she was washed up.
And she doesn't know where the baby is, or the baby's gone?
The baby died.
Yeah, the baby died.
Yeah, the baby died in the flood. They were trapped in a flood. The car, I guess, got swept away in a river or something like that, and the baby died.
Where did y'all get that context from? Where was I was watching? I was in the bathroom.
She had a talk.
Did they show a scene? Okay.
Yeah, she had a conversation with Mercedes when they were in the house because Mercedes was trying to get her daughter back and had a room set up, and she told Mercedes that. Now, I will tell you, that conversation in the bedroom, I thought the dude she was running from had her daughter when that conversation happened initially, is what I thought. However, at the very end, all right, before we get to the end, we also got Lil Murder, who wants to be a rapper, okay? Comes to the Pynk with his crew, dropping his songs, and they're slaw. They're not good.
Yeah. You can't just drop that like that.
Yeah.
Know what slaw
like that's
is.
daily lingo.
He went in there, he paid somebody to play his record, and they played it. Mercedes looked over at the DJ and said, "Boy, if you don't." He took it off, and then he realized that he had trash, which they call slaw. Slaw.
Yes.
Don't nobody want to hear that slaw.
We get Lil Murder and Uncle Clifford interacting, and we quickly find out that Lil Murder got a thing for Uncle Clifford. We get this undercover romance that has to be hidden, and he's like, "Oh, I want to take you out," and Uncle Clifford's like, "Nah, we can't go out nowhere, baby." Like, do you know what happens to gay people who go out in Mississippi? They die. They go missing. They get beat up. And he's all like, no. Typical one person's been living the life, one person's new to the life love storyline. Like, I want to be out and loud, but they're just really naive. So that was the start of the relationship, or the whole relationship, essentially, with Uncle Clifford and Lil Murder. We knew, you know where that ends.
And the sad thing is, it's like, you want it to work out, but you also want better for Uncle Clifford.
I wanted better for Lil Murder.
I wanted better for Uncle Clifford.
I mean, Uncle Clifford's going to be fine. We knew he was going to be. The Pynk they're trying to buy the Pynk. So you got this other dude running around who's in town. What was his name?
Andre.
I didn't like looking at him. Every time he was on screen, I did not want to watch. I did not enjoy this man's acting or his face. He seemed really out of place.
Yeah. And I think that was kind of intentional with the whole, they were trying to make it seem like he was fighting between living in Mississippi and living in Atlanta. Chuckalissa wasn't supposed to be his home, quote unquote.
Yeah, he damn sure didn't belong there. His cat. I'm just saying, like.
Why didn't you like him? I didn't have any feelings around him. That's why I'm just asking, like, why did you feel so
anti-Andre?
Yeah. What'd he do? He seemed. I don't know. He seemed like he's. If there was no Andre, there would be no show.
Definitely. I mean, obviously, we get the whole point of his character, and maybe I don't want to sit here and talk about someone's physical appearance and like they was like ugly, but I think they casted someone who was such a contrast to, like, Lil Murder was beefy, the way he carried himself. Every other dude on this show, I guess, just had, maybe because he was so skinny, like everybody else on this show just had weight to him as far as all of the men on this show. So it's like this little creepy, slimy bastard who's trying to, steal the Pynk, they casted, I guess they casted him well. And
he was unnecessarily just cheating on his wife the whole show with a stripper he just met.
That I felt was kind of full. The relationship with what? You don't think so?
It's just very interesting to hear y'all talk about how that's something typical, and that's something that doesn't get shown on television a lot. That is typical right there. He has a good woman at home, and he meets somebody here. And come on, man, you seen him. He's pleasuring himself. He's literally in a hotel room going through it. Instead of him going home to go see his girl, he's messing with this person that he has no business dealing with. That's very typical. I don't know. Y'all saying that it's not like it seems extremely typical for somebody to be in that particular situation, especially the square that you guys are painting him out to be. It's perfect. Because you got a good woman at home and you out here messing with this girl that's going to destroy your life.
No, it's very...
like, she's gonna destroy your life. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be messed up. There will be consequences from dealing with this person. And look, the consequences have already happened.
You're right. I'm speaking to I'm not speaking to the writing of the show, because that is very, I guess, on par. Like that, it makes sense. We understand why it was written and things like that. It's a driving factor for the story. Yes. And I didn't like him. Like, I didn't like him. Obviously, he's a, plot point, driving force. And like you just said, if there was no him, there'd be no story. So not speaking from a writing aspect of it that it was trash, I just don't like him. Like, I didn't like him.
I get it. He had no grown man beard. I got it.
Exactly. Right. Diamond, beard, Big L, beard, Uncle Clifford. Beard. This old baby face mofo running around here getting on my nerves. Anyway, Mercedes' story. So Mercedes gave her mom $20,000 to hide in the church fund. Her mother was the worst human being on the planet.
I don't understand why she gave that woman her money in the first place. If I have to pay you off weekly to leave me alone outside my place of business, I don't trust you.
Mercedes' mom was overtly church-going Southern lady who shows up at the club telling Mercedes how she's going to hell and she's the devil, and does that whole fucking dramatic blame me or take me bullshit while Mercedes is coming out with 2 bags of money. Mercedes hands her the money and she shuts the fuck up. I was just like, yo, this woman is the most toxic person ever. And it's like you start to see why Mercedes. We don't see, at least this show at this point doesn't show Mercedes' dark, troubled past. We get her trying to get out of the club. We do find out she has a daughter that she had with some dude who's dead, and the daughter's living with
the guy's ex-wife.
The guy's wife.
Yeah.
They got custody, and she's trying to have a relationship with her. She's trying to get this dance team built. What was that dance show that also took place in this time?
Bring It.
Was it Bring It? Yeah, Bring It. Very Bring It-esque. So she's trying to get this dance gym started with this dance team, and her daughter's on the dance team, and that's how she gets to spend time with her daughter. So great story there. But her mother is a fucking piece of food. Right when Mercedes is about to do her last dance, mom takes the money. Mom was supposed to go get her the money to bring it back to her, because they were applying for a loan. She gave the money to her mom because the church was trying to get a loan, and they needed to put so much down and show they had so much in the bank. That's the reason why she gave her mom the money. Mom was supposed to go get checked, bring it back to her, and mom decides, I got my own plan. and takes Mercedes' money, buys Mercedes' building. That was sad. And they got into a fight and they ended up in jail together.
I'd have beat her up too.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing that you could possibly do in any situation. That mom, she's something else in every way. You know what I mean? Because she's being used at church by the pastor, and then she's using Mercedes, but then she's exploiting the pastor because he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, and then turns around and catches the Holy Ghost and decides, you know what? I should be a pastor right now and get my own church. Zero regard for that baby and the fact that she saved up $20,000. She lucky that she ain't catch a body.
Yeah.
Because I just don't understand, how could you do that to your child? And how could I let you hold some money and then you use it for yourself and take the thing, which is the actual place? Could you imagine that? Yo, I'm saving up for this car. Then you decide, you know what? I'm going to take your money and buy that car.
And I'm gonna give it to somebody else.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna buy that car. Nah. Or we decide, we're gonna do something with, and you just go and do it yourself. That's just out of line. It was just out of line. Most out of line thing I've seen from a mom in a long time on TV. It almost makes it stupid.
No,
because who is doing that?
Well, I think it goes to show you that sometimes the most church-going, Bible-quoting people are some of the dirtiest and most jacked up people.
Because she did say, God told me to take this money and buy my church.
I prayed on it.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was interesting and crazy. So Lil Murder gets his music together and actually comes up with a good song. A couple good songs. Because after Mercedes can't retire and has to come back to the Pynk.
Well, actually, his first song that took off was when Mercedes couldn't do her dance, and they had Mississippi go on in her place.
True that. Actually, the night was supposed to be Mercedes' last dance. She spent in jail with her mother, and Mississippi got to go on and perform to Lil Murder's song, which he got into a fight that night and got kicked out of the club, so he couldn't even be in the Pynk when his song was played. So he's outside like, that's my song playing.
What a bad day for Mercedes, now that I think about it, because that was supposed to be her last day. That was supposed to be her big money. Like, she probably made, maybe not 20,000, but she probably made quite a grip. She would have made quite a grip that day, because Mississippi came up.
She sure did. This was one of, okay, so just kind of speeding this along because we got a lot to talk about. For this show, for a first season, it's not, like, it's pretty predictable. Would you all say that it's pretty predictable? Like, once you get to, like, maybe episode 3, you know where this is going. You get the gist of the land's trying to be brought up. The question is, who's going to buy the pig and save it? Is it going to be Mercedes? Is it going to be Autumn? Because Autumn's running this whole money scheme that we see while this is going on. And we find out she's stealing money from someone, or not even somebody. It's the dude who she's running. She's taking his money. She thinks she's getting away with it. She thinks she's hiding.
Because she thinks the guy's dead.
She thought he was dead. That's right, because she shot him. She thought he was dead. So she's thinking she's getting this money. So it quickly becomes easy to think that Mercedes and Autumn are going to team up and save the Pynk.
I thought it was going to be Autumn from the moment they showed her taking all that money out. But I don't understand why she didn't just buy it when it was $54,000. Instead of the $275,000, $250,000.
Hold on. Pause. Before we get there. Autumn's dude shows up. He's not dead. He shows up at the club. Again, very predictable scene. He shows up. We knew he would show up at the club. It was in that scene where she said the baby was dead, because she told him that the little girl died while she was trying. Because he made a comment, her and Mercedes, or to Mercedes, about how he took care of Autumn and he cared about that baby. And that's when Autumn said, she died while I was trying to get away from you. So that's where we get the confirmation the baby's dead at that point. Fight ensues, shots ring out, all hell breaks loose on the last two. Mississippi, we think, is going to finally stand up to her white boy who's beating her ass. Because after her performance, he threatens her. We're kind of rolling back because I just skipped over. Mississippi's performance when Mercedes was locked up was probably one of the best shot scenes of this. I think it was that scene where they turned the music off or down really low.
Mm-hmm. And you could just hear, like, the stripper.
Yes. You could, like, just hear her breathing. You heard her moving. Like, you heard
that was the second time they did that.
That was really well done. Like, that was good. I like that.
They had Mercedes do that earlier. When you first saw Mercedes really get it in, she went and she climbed to the top, and they turned the music off, and she was up there. You could hear like the and you realizing how much she really had to do to stay up there and be literally she had her feet on the ceiling, you know what I mean, and acting like she was on the floor. She was killing it, and I was, what are they doing? And then at first, when I first saw it, I was like, she's about to fall. You know? And I'm, please don't fall. And she didn't fall. Then they turned the music back on, and I was like, oh, so they just showing you how hard it is up there to do what it is that they do.
Yeah.
It's worth noting that Mississippi, the person that they have stripping for her, she's something special. She's an acrobat up there.
She really is. It's almost ballet on the pole, which
for real.
Cool. It is. It's legitimately ballet on that damn pole. The body doubles who for Mississippi and Mercedes are both perfect, and Digit. All three of them in particular, because I think that those three were noted, are pretty famous professional pole dancers, performers, artists, to be real with. Like, it's fucking art what they were doing. So those three are pretty well, I guess, known for what they do, and it makes sense that they would get professional body doubles for them. But yeah, so I did appreciate that they took time to really take notice of how hard those ladies worked to do what they were doing. And I feel like the reason that was done is because it should also be noted that this show was created by a woman, Victoria Hall. Every episode is directed by a different female director. I don't think we get this show if it was not done by women. Like, we don't get the care that we got. There's a lot of care was put into P-Valley. As far as the story, Uncle Clifford, how he took care of the women in that club. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have got this show if it wasn't done by a woman.
I think it's worth noting that because they're in Mississippi and because Uncle Clifford is there at the top, it's a different environment. This isn't King of Diamonds. This isn't, some place in Houston or Miami or, Memphis. This crazy place in Memphis. Like, yeah, and even in, you know what I mean? It's none of these places. It's some place in oddball Mississippi, and they're just trying to keep things afloat. You know what I'm saying? And you see a lot of stuff that, like, it's a lot of attention to detail in that sense. They kept making fun of this dude's FUBU brown jersey. Except they did it twice. You know what I mean? And I was just, and that's probably what you would see, you know what I mean, in Mississippi. I'm not saying people from Mississippi wear FUBU. I'm just saying that I'm sure you would see somebody looking crazy in the strip club and just looking like an eyeball doing, you got on a FUBU jersey. It's 2020. However, it's just interesting that the way that they did the show, because it's in Mississippi and because Uncle Clifford you don't see the abuse that you would see, I think, if you had a male being at the top.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
And it wasn't as, I guess, sexualized as you would think a show focused on a strip club would be, which is something that I appreciated.
Yeah. Same. Again, because it was a female writing team and it was a female-led show, I think is why we got that for sure. So, end of the season, Diamond shoots. No, Mercedes. Is it true that Mercedes shot him?
I'm guessing with how rough she was looking on that last episode.
There was a big old fight in that room. The dude who Autumn was running from ends up dead. Mercedes tries to go to her mom because she got beat up pretty bad in that scene, like in that room, and she's traumatized. So she tries to go to her mom and like, hey, you know what? I just, God gives second chances. Her mother looked at her and was like, yep, he gives third and fourths, but you go pray to your God because I'm dead to you, and walked away from her. I was like, I wasn't expecting that.
I didn't expect it either. How you gonna take her money and still be mad that she was mad?
Man, I tell you, that woman is there's a special place in hell for her, for sure. Mercedes had to, once again, take her ass back to Pynk. And somebody had made that comment. They're like, you ain't never gonna have your last dance. I think Uncle Clifford said it when she came back, actually, in that last episode. And then I thought it was awesome that in the preview they show everyone getting dressed up in black for a funeral. So it almost made it seem like one of the dancers I thought died in that final episode. Like some shootout was gonna happen and one of the girls were gonna get killed. They were dressing up to go to the funeral of the Pynk. Like they dressed up in black, like they were going to a funeral to attend the auction of the club. Is why they were dressed.
Mississippi.
We didn't mention that Loretta Devine is in the show. She plays Uncle Clifford's very accepting grandmother who is blind.
Mm-hmm. And who had passed the club down to Clifford.
Yeah, so she was the original owner of this strip club. Thought that was awesome as well. So
it was a juke joint at first.
It was a juke joint. Love that concept of that staying in the family and her passing it. And the fact that she was just very accepting of her grandson who she knew. She said he came into the world gay. And that was funny when she was talking about that. But anyway, they're in there doing the auction and Autumn shows up with this money. I agree. The fact that she overpaid for the Pynk. The auction started at $55K and she like jumped it up hella high, hella quick. Once it went to $200,000 and then she went to $250, she could have went to $225. She didn't need to go. She didn't need to go to $250 because he was already sweating at $200 and scrambling.
Yeah, because he wasn't supposed to go over $200 without his investors' permission.
She didn't know that though.
No, she didn't know that. But I do feel like at a certain, because I think, didn't she raise it up twice before he even had a chance to say something?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at that point they should have ran it back and been like, did you even have that money? If not, then she shouldn't have had to pay more than that. I think it was like $225. There was something weird in that auction. I was just like, I don't even feel like she should have to pay that much based on the way she bid it. I don't know. It's fucking wonky.
I think how auctions work, you pay the price that was bid before you if you have the money to buy over. Because I know you don't exactly pay the highest price when you bid.
So you're trying to say like maybe she would only had to pay like the $200?
Yeah. Like what she beat him out at. Or no, not what she beat him out at, but where he stopped. His limit, his low. She would pay that.
I don't know. But whatever. She overpaid for the Pynk. Point blank. She paid too damn much for it. Again, we knew that they were going to end up owning it, and so she's partners with Uncle Clifford.
Partners?
I was about to say, that's not my partner.
Uncle Clifford ain't putting in nothing.
He ain't put in on this. Partners? Nah, that's called I'm smoking you out. Like, I bought this, and you get to come here and help me. Nah. I get to kick you out at any given time. You better play nice, Clifford.
Yeah, she definitely could take that. I guess you're right. She's the boss. She is the boss now.
But I understand what I understand what you're saying in the sense of partners, rather, because I don't run a strip club. You do.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna treat it like a partnership.
That will be a problem.
Ooh, okay. Let's talk about that. So overall, Dexter, how did you feel about season 1 of P-Valley?
It was a cool show. I mean, I have some gripes, however, they're not necessary. I liked the fact that I wish I would have got on because I don't know what it is about Sunday television. I guess all primetime premium TV is released on Sunday nights, I guess. All of the original series that come out. Because HBO does it, Stars, I guess everybody does it on Sunday nights. However, I appreciate it. I like how, Powers, every week we got something that pretty much everybody watches. And P-Valley seemed to be something that could have been that. It only has 7 episodes, but it was interesting. I got some gripes, like I said, but I thought it was real dope. I like it. I can't wait for season 2 to see, what they're going to do.
Armani.
I loved it. I can't wait for season 2.
Okay. Because definitely going into season 2, we don't know where Mississippi is. Because after she left, she just left with her abusive white boyfriend. So we don't know Mississippi's status.
I think she's just going to go back to the Pynk.
We going to see. If she come back, she coming back with broken limbs, though. That's for damn sure. She went home with that fool. She's not coming back.
Oh, yeah, because he was upset about her dancing. Oh, we forgot to mention how Mississippi was basically Lil Murder's beard.
Yes. Mississippi became Lil Murder. Watch the show. At this point, I think we've spoiled enough of it for it to be enjoyable, and you'll be able to watch it. So it's definitely worth watching. Should get watched to fill in some of those little details. We don't know where Mississippi is, if she gonna come back or if she alive. She gonna be back, but she be fucked up. So
she was last seen with the gun on dude, right?
Yes, that's last we seen her when she pulled the gun on Diamond and told him to get off of her abusive boyfriend. The Autumn's dude had mentioned that he was in a gang. In that room, it was noted a lot that he was in a gang. The name of that gang was thrown around a lot. So it's pretty safe to assume they're going to come looking for their money. So that, I think, is going to be the
problem.
That's going to be the problem that runs through season 2 is this gang wants their money back. Y'all, this is our club. It's not your club because that wasn't your money. So I think that's what we're going to see come into play. Mercedes, will
she ever get her last dance?
Find out on season 2 of P-Valley. I think it was notated somewhere else that the show should have been longer, could have got more, but I guess, when you take a chance on something that you don't totally know, it's like, all right, we'll give you X amount of episodes to convince us, 7 episodes to convince us that you should have a season. And here's 7 episodes of TV and X amount of dollars, sell us. And that's what they did. But I think they did a really good job with that first season. I think season 2 will probably be longer, for sure. I think part of the issue is, before Power, what was anyone watching on Starz? Was anybody fucking with Starz before Power?
Dexter was the last. No, that was on Showtime.
That was on Showtime. Yeah, so Starz, before Power, Starz wasn't really an it channel to have. And during Power, I think it became the norm to, as soon as Power went off, everybody canceled their Starz membership. Because literally they were only watching it for Power. So P-Valley kind of got snuck in on the, oh wait, Power ended.
Luther was on.
Luther?
Yeah, Luther was on Starz.
Luther what? What, Idris Elba?
Yeah.
That's a BBC show.
Oh, it says it's on Starz. I'm looking at the Starz.
Yeah, but that's not a Starz original. That wasn't a Starz BBC conjunction. Because I'm pretty sure that was like out on Netflix. And you just watch it on the BBC. Huh?
It was on Netflix first, but it did get pulled though when Starz broke off from Netflix.
Yeah, but if you got the BBC, you was watching Luther on the BBC. No one was really waiting for it to get to Netflix anyway. Just talking about Starz original series. Like, what were you subscribing? No one was subscribing to Starz for Luther either.
Starz had Survivors after, but all of that was after Power, I believe. I think they stuck that like before, after Power.
Okay.
American Gods came out after Power.
Spartacus.
American Gods.
Spartacus.
Okay. So, Then there was some shows on there, and yeah, they definitely ran it in between the Power thing though. So you're right. Okay.
But this was their next big show.
Yeah, I think it has the ability to, because there's not. I don't know what else is on. I personally don't know what else. Like, I don't check for Starz. Like, you don't hear that much about Starz. So I think it makes sense that we didn't find out about it until 5-6 episodes in. So now we're probably committed to Starz because Power is back. Power Book 2 started, and the first episode was good. I liked it. Armani, did you watch it?
No, I don't think I'm gonna watch it. I don't like that little boy Tariq.
All right, before you get into your Tariq hate.
No, I'm gonna do what I did with Power, and I'm just gonna wait till I get a couple seasons in.
Seasons?
Yeah. I only watched like the last 3 of the Power.
And
like, yeah, like, just everything. Like, I got a pretty good understanding. Like,
you
people talking
missed
me
some
through it.
Really great shit. Man,
I saw
you should watch this
highlights on Twitter.
You should watch this one. I hate Tariq too. You should watch it. You realize that you only hate Tariq because of his parents. Yeah. And because like the way that they painted him was just, it was terrible. But it just seems like an entire new show, and it feels like they took away everything that I hated about the show. They took away. Are we about to talk about that show?
We sure are. That was a transition. That was the smoothest transition ever.
I thought it was good, man. I had no expectations from it whatsoever. I hated Angela. But more than anybody, I hated Ghost. I thought Ghost was one of the worst characters ever. So even though I didn't want to watch the last season of Power, I did. But y'all think y'all felt bad with Game of Thrones, man. Talk about feeling bad because he's terrible. He's just, the way that they develop characters is just bad.
The last season of Power was definitely hate watching, for sure. Like, at that point, no one was watching it because they loved it. They watched it because I've already invested X amount of seasons of my life into this. I just gotta watch how this train wreck ends, basically.
See, look, I feel like me jumping into it at the end, I had a different outlook. Like, I really liked it. I didn't, but I guess I also would understand why people didn't like Ghost, because I was like, okay, he just doing what he gotta do. Ain't nobody gonna get in his way, okay? But I see.
Yeah, nah. But okay, so in the Tariq development, though, it is also worth mentioning that when Power started, he was a young kid. Don't think this kid's ever really acted in anything. So part of what you hated about Tariq was the fact that he was annoying because he couldn't act. He was just that he was just that good of an actor because he was an annoying child the entire series. Like, you're looking at him whine about how his life is terrible, but you live in this penthouse with granted, money don't make kids happy, bottom line. But he acted like Ghost wasn't around. Like, his dad was there. You had your dad. Your parents were just breaking up. He was the product of a divorce, a shitty divorce.
Did you watch the whole show?
Yes.
A lot of people feel the way you feel. I don't feel that way.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, he's spoiled. Yeah, his dad was there physically, but his dad wasn't there mentally. His dad wasn't connecting with him. His dad provided, but he wasn't there. And when he needed to be there, he definitely. I believe that was a direct product of his dad's neglect. The way that worked out, because it would be mad times when he would ask his dad, "Be there for me. I need you for this," and he would tell him that he got other things to do, or he had to do this, or the worst part, he would just flip the script on him and act like what he was saying didn't even matter. At the end of the day, what he ended up doing was he ended up losing complete trust for Ghost in every way. And every single time he told him he would do something, he almost never did it. And then next thing you know, he would find out that he was with Angela. And it's, oh man, you ain't come to my thing because you out there messing with, or you ain't come to my thing because you out there with Tommy, or you ain't come to my thing because you out there doing this. Then my sister dies, and you still don't center yourself. You still ain't there for me. You still talking to me recklessly. And then you mad that I'm talking to you recklessly.
Yeah, his mouth was crazy to Ghost at times.
I just didn't appreciate me as a father and having boys. I ain't really feel like he did much for his kid except for what you're talking about. And if that's enough, then that's fine. If that's all you got to do is, provide a roof over your head and get you the best stuff, then I get it. Because I think that's TV happy, right?
No, that's definitely not enough. Setting the bar very low, and that's not enough for sure. But I guess I was kind of saying that just to say his acting has gotten better. And I feel like the fact that we're seeing I don't want to say an adult, but he's a more developed, older person. Because I love how they skipped high school. Like, I don't remember this kid going to school at all. And he's in college now. He's in college, and I feel like they're framing this show to where Tariq is older. It's better suited. Like, I like it. I was among the people who hated Tariq for so long, but I agree. I do like this. I think this will be I think seeing him in this frame as a grown-up who kind of has shit to handle. He's got to juggle college. He's helping his kids. This athlete basically doing his homework for him because Tariq is that smart. So we're getting to see Tariq is a smart young man. Like, he's not stupid book smart wise. He's not stupid at all. He fumbled some things street smarts wise, but he got it. He's getting it together, street smart. So he's about to be a balanced Ghost. The overall cast of this show, we've got Mary J. Blige playing his roommate's mom. He's married to some ex. Was he in a gang or gang leader? Is that what it
I
said?
don't know. I just get that she a badass.
Yeah. He Googled why.
She Cookie lying.
She's better than Cookie. Like, she told her son, she's like, he gonna be back. You know what you gotta do. She's got multiple kids. No, wait, that was his aunt. That wasn't his roommate's mom. That was his roommate's aunt. So his roommate's aunt and her kids, which she's got a son who's not afraid to kill somebody. We see somebody get murked by him in the first episode. She's got a daughter who is already making eyes with Tariq. So we see he's gonna have a love triangle. He's gonna have his own little triangle between two little girls.
He's got 3 girls.
Ooh, 3. Where do you get 3 from?
He got the drug dealer girl from the first season. From.
Oh, you're right. That is 3. So, okay. He got 3 girls who got to be juggling.
Yeah. Who is that little girl?
She looks familiar, but she
was in a kid's sitcom or something. I know she was in that movie, that Grace movie that we'd watch. She was the girl that got that committed suicide.
Oh, the drug dealer girl? Because the girl that died in Grace was light, and the drug dealer girl is the only light-skinned girl at the movie.
No, it's not. He met a girl. He met a girl.
Oh yeah, her too. Okay, I forgot about her.
Yeah, there's a brown skinned girl. There's her, and then there's the girl from the last season.
Okay.
But remember, what I'm saying is that a girl from Grace or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The main character is Ryan Destin. However, the girl that she was best friends with, that you find out that she had a relationship with, that you killed herself because she was getting bullied or whatever, or something happened. But whatever, that was that girl. She was in something else. I'm about to find out.
All right. Well, you do that. While you do, we've got, because I was trying to get to IMDb, but yeah, I'll let you do it. Method Man is playing a lawyer that Tariq tricks into representing his mom, and I absolutely love that Method lawyer as opposed to playing a gangster. I love the gangster Method Man in The Wire. I like lawyer Method Man better for that.
He's in that other show I'm watching too. Bounty Killer, Teenage Bounty Killers, Bounty Hunters. Teenage Bounty Hunters. Yeah, that's what it's called.
All together, I think the first episode of Power Book 2 or whatever they're calling it, is good. Like, you kept thinking Tasha was gonna get out of jail, and they were like, nope. You had just enough. You have just enough characters from Power to make that transition, because you got Tamika, the ex-attorney general lady. You got the ADA, or whatever his name is. Sax. Sax is still around, so we still got Sax. You've just enough people to keep it going well. I will say this, because I wasn't sure if that was her. His teacher, this lady, Melanie Libbard, is a complete doppelganger for Kat Graham. I thought that was Kat Graham. I was like, oh, my girl's in a new show. Then she kept talking. I'm like, look like Kat Graham. Is that her?
Isn't she brown skin?
I know. They're this, like, you look at a picture of her and Kat Graham, and I thought they were the same freaking people. Honestly, and I didn't even know that wasn't Kat Graham until just now when I IMDb'd it. Yeah, and she's from England. She's an English actress. I think it's going to be good. Any other thoughts on Power? Or to the big one?
That's all I got.
No, we're not to the big one yet. So next up.
She doesn't look like Kat Graham, though. You gotta chill.
She looks exactly.
This is a beautiful queen right here.
Both of them are beautiful. And
Kat Graham is.
You're not about to say anything bad about Kat Graham.
I'm about to say something really bad about Kat Graham, actually. No disrespect to Kat Graham, though. I mean, she's probably not gonna like it, but listen.
I don't like it.
But over the weekend, I was actually watching Ridiculous. I couldn't stand her being on the screen. She's such a, I don't know. I feel like she's one of them type of people that's grown up famous. I don't know. She gives me Kiki Palmer vibes.
I don't know about that, but we ain't gonna have no Bonnie slander on this. Not the Bonnie.
Who's Bonnie?
That was her character on Vampire Diaries, and she never got the ending she deserved. She just kept getting screwed so hard on Vampire Diaries, and that's honestly why I love Kat Graham from Vampire Diaries. I've only watched her in maybe like 2 or 3 other things. Bonnie was bae, so whatever. Also watched I May Destroy You, which came out weeks ago. We caught it when there was literally like 2 episodes left. There's how many episodes in that? 10 or 11 episodes of I May Destroy You?
Yes, I believe it's 11.
On HBO, written, starring Michaela Cole. It's a lot. It covers consent. Trigger warning here for sexual assault. It covers sexual assault. It covers it from all different angles. It's a great show that should be talked about, watched, and discussed. But again, it features sexual assault. So just trigger warning for that. Are we going to talk about that somewhere? Do we want to talk about I May Destroy You at all? Any more than that?
It's a sexual assault show. The show is not about anything but that.
Yeah. I mean, about, yeah.
And different ways.
That sexual assault occurs.
Yeah.
That you might not even think of sexual assault.
Yeah. You'll definitely learn something. So for some, it might be a rough watch, though.
Yeah.
It was a rough watch.
For sure. It could be. Again, that's why go into it gently. But I think even for people who've gone through that, it's a good discussion piece to watch and be able to talk about. So it's definitely something that mothers should sit down with their daughters, and girlfriends should sit down together, and men should sit down and watch it. I position this as women should sit down and watch this and talk about this, but men should watch it and talk about it and or have these conversations with their sons of why this shit is flagrant and not okay. But there's some definite...
I completely agree.
Yeah, some conversations to be had for women. We'll probably deep dive into that more on a different podcast, not this episode, but watch it if you have not watched I May Destroy You on HBO. Wrapping up the HBO Love Train.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Wait, are you asking me?
Yeah, both of you guys.
Oh, it was a good show, yeah. I was watching it while it was airing, and I kind of feel like that was a different experience, because it kind of gave a sense of uneasiness, at least I'd say, with those first few episodes. It was like the what's gonna happen, and that's one of the things I don't like about watching shows as they air
weekly. Yeah. So you watched it, lived it, and then had to process it each week.
Mm-hmm.
And had to like live with it. Yeah, that's definitely different from sitting down binge watching 10 episodes for sure.
Yeah, I literally sat in the hotel room and watched the entire from episode 1 to 11.
So that's something we're going to discuss. We're going to talk about, because we've mentioned this a lot in talking about shows and our feelings on this. Did I like I May Destroy You? I don't know. I don't know if like is the right word. I thought it's necessary. I'll say that. I think it is necessary. It's a Lifetime after-school special that should be shown and talked about in high schools. It's the kids. It's a series of kids, basically. The writing's amazing, acting's amazing, and it needs to be seen. It's definitely something that should be seen. I'll just say that. Did you have anything else, Ryan May Destroy You?
No, I thought that they touched on a lot of things that haven't clearly been touched on in today's culture. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different things that, like you said, you didn't even know was like sexual assault. There's a lot of things that, like even her best friend, you know, she has some very unique situations that she dealt with as well. You know, I'm not going to spoil it like we did P-Valley. However, you guys should watch this one because, like you said, I think everybody would have everybody can benefit from watching.
So the big one that we are now playing catch up on, LoveCraft Country. Episodes 2 through 4 have now been aired.
2 through 4.
Yeah, did you not watch episode 4 of LoveCraft Country?
When did it come on?
Last week.
No, I didn't watch it. I could have sworn I did.
Well, guess what? Welcome to the There Will Be Spoilers episode of the House of Words podcast, and we about to spoil that shit for you. Okay, so episode 2 was Whitey on the Moon. They are inside the house, and all hell breaks. That was episode 2.
Mm-hmm. When they finally get to Artem, and they meet the sons of Adam.
Find out there's a big cult that the families arrived to. Whose lineage is this going through? Is it going through the moms or the dads? Whose family is this?
Mom's.
It is his mom's family. Okay, so Atticus's mom's family is why this is going. He rescues his dad. Uncle is dead at the end. Letitia died, came back. The house blows up. We head back to Chi-Town. Music was great in episode 2. The music in the show was great, period. Episode 3. Letitia owns a house, buys a house that was owned previously by a racist dead guy that is now a ghost. This is where we get Ghost Ship and 13 Ghosts in an episode. House gets exorcised. It's a Journey Smollett heavy episode. It's good. Aunt's not convinced that the uncle died the way they say he died, because he didn't die the way they said he died. They made that shit up.
Which I don't get why they didn't just let her in on it.
Because
it's not like she would have put her in any kind of danger.
I think she would have been in danger.
I mean, I watched it, but I didn't have a lot to say about in 3. 2 was what it was. 3.
So I should just keep going my recap than the way I was going with it?
Please.
Okay. Episode 3. What happened in episode 3?
That's when they got the house. And then the neighbors were harassing them.
Yeah.
Because they moved into a white neighborhood.
Yeah. They get the house. We find out that the blonde sister from Children of the Village of the Damned gave her the money and she bought the house, and she told her what house to buy because she wanted something that was in the house. Episode 4 turns into Raiders of the Lost Ark, or Temple of Doom is what it is.
Oh, wait, no, I did watch episode 4 then.
Yeah, see?
Okay.
It's totally Indiana Jones. They are down there. They drive to somewhere to go to a planetarium, to get to the bottom of the planetarium, just to get back to the house. There's a tunnel that leads them back home to Letitia's house. They're looking...
Boston.
Huh? They were in
They
Boston.
went to Boston, I think, and then they brought them back to wherever.
That is ridiculous. So, yeah, everyone went on this car ride. Polita went on it. Diana went on this car ride. You got the dude who owns the bar or works in the bar or be in the bar, whatever he doing in the bar, was trying to just hitch a ride, and he went to the museum. The 3 of them are in the basement of the museum, end up back home. I found it interesting that at the end when Hippolyta was going back home, he said he just wanted to ride. He just needed to ride halfway there anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was not going to go any further or back, what have you. All right, so that's where he went. Because I was like, where the fuck did old boy go? He just disappeared. Obviously, we're speed running through this. Why? Armani, you made a great point about the way these episodes are running.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like it's an anthology series in a way. I get that the episodes are connected, but it also feels like they're their own independent chapters with things that these characters are just going through.
This show feels very much like it is chapters of a book. Literally is what it is. And we have not, while I enjoyed episode 4 for what it was, I have to agree with the sentiment of they haven't sold me yet. Like, I'm not completely bought into this show. I love Journey Smollett's character. I love watching Michael K. Williams just because I loved Omar from The Wire, and he plays an old black man very well. I like that we're getting little bits of history facts in here because I love history, but I don't know. This is one of those shows where, and this is where this conversation is going to come into play. I don't even know if we really need to even discuss LoveCraft Country, to be honest with you. This is a show I would have been okay with getting all of however many episodes released at one time so I can sit down and watch it so I don't have to wait week to week.
Yeah, because at this point in the show, I'm kind of on the where are we going? It feels like there's constant build up, but there's no real resolution. Like, it feels like we're just adding more clues, but it's... And there's only going to be 10 episodes on this season.
We're not going to care until episode 9. I don't know if I care right now. I'm okay with not watching this until episode 9 comes out again. I don't need to watch this week's episode.
I gotta stop laughing on the pod. But it's hilarious because I remember I hate watching the week shows, and especially this and the way that the first episode played out. I'm like, this is gonna be terrible having to watch this week. And here you go.
I disagree. You're right, and this is why we're having this. So we're gonna the bigger conversation because you did this. I was like, no, it's gonna be great, and I can't wait. And it's a weekly conversation, and now I don't even want to talk about this shit again. At least not for another X amount of weeks. I'm okay
only because there's nothing to talk about. I get it. What are you watching? What's happening? What's about to happen? Where is there's no cliffhangers really at the end, except for when they showed up in Arkham in the first episode, or Arkham in the first episode. There's not a lot of cliffhangers. I don't know. Like you said, I guess it's anthology based because you haven't seen anything that resembles the episode prior, really. However, the last episode showed you something when the dad killed that girl guy.
Yes.
And I say it's a girl guy because they said that they have two souls. Like,
yeah. Her name that was mentioned, I've heard that somewhere else before. I didn't even bother to go look it up. But I have heard her name mentioned. She encompasses everything, both like good and bad, light and dark, male and female. I want to see, I feel like there's like a Mayan or Aztec connection there, I think is what it is. So like, Google it. Yeah, that's how much I don't care. And I'm usually one of those people who, like, as soon as something historical comes up in a show, I'm like, ooh, I want to know. Like, I want to know more. Take me down this rabbit hole. I didn't care. And I hate that I feel this way about this. Like, I really hate that I feel the way I feel right now.
It's done very tastefully. It's a very well done show. It's the Jonathan Majors and Letty show.
And I'm only enjoying the Letty part of it.
Me too. I mean, no, I'm enjoying the guy, but they are not positioning him as you know what it is? It's the fact that they don't know what the hell's going on. So we watching something and we're watching these people not know what's going on and we don't know what's going on. And usually they let us know one of the two. They know what's going on and we don't, or we know what's going on and they don't. We have neither.
I feel like the trailer for this show initially too was misleading. Because that trailer, usually you get a trailer for a new show, they kind of give you a rough cover of the overall season. But the trailer for the show really just covered episode 1.
And that could have been very intentional. Being that this is a J.J. Abrams, Jordan Peele show, that was intentional as hell, I'm sure. I'm sure all of the things that we are hating right now are intentionally done to get you to come back and enjoy it. Which... you should watch every episode. I just don't know if I need to wait a week to watch every episode. I don't know if I need that in my life. Like, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to finish it. I feel like this could have almost been a 3-part miniseries. Does that make sense? And I am the queen of, I appreciate and bring back the weekly format. I think binge watching shit has destroyed the way we consume TV. I'm the first one to say that, but comma.
Why?
I just enjoy that old school format of something of weekly watch. And I think it's because when you watch so many things, it's like, okay, let me consume one episode of this, one episode of this, one episode of this, as opposed to there's 10 episodes of Umbrella Academy to watch, and now I'm stuck on episode 6. There's 3 episodes of The Boys to watch, and I don't know if I'm making it past episode 1. And there's 10 episodes of this to watch.
Answer me this.
Uh-huh.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
You can finish. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like your pattern.
Uh-huh.
It sounds like you don't like the shows that are only giving you 1 episode at a time.
You don't even like what you're asking for.
Because you're not able to binge it all. So you're sitting and you're having to deal with whether you like this thing at this point in the show or not. Having the freedom to watch that show. I understand what people say when they're like, yo, I worked all this time for people to watch my show in a day. Who cares? That's what we'll do in the movie theater every time that they make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
What they make for 2 years, Avatar, whatever. Somebody sat down and watched it in 3 hours and kept it. It doesn't take away anything from the art. Like, give me my 10 episodes right now so that I can watch them and judge them like I did the show that I just watched this weekend. Because you judging it based off of one episode it's
rough.
it could be damaging on the actual show, because we're sitting here judging each episode. I don't even have too much. I can't even really identify too much from, what is it called? Destroy You? What's it called again?
I May Destroy You.
I May Destroy You. I can't even remember too many episodes except for the last one that have that much identity. The rest is just all stories that happened within the actual show. I don't know what episode she hooked up with 2 guys. I don't know what episode they did all of that. And the fact that we're sitting here able to pinpoint, they did this episode, the first episode was the racist episode. The second episode is when they found out about the cult. The third episode is when they were in the haunted house. The fourth episode is basically, like you said, Raiders of the Lost Ark. These are all discovery episodes. However, we don't like it because we don't know where it's going. If we knew that we could watch it tomorrow, like if we could just keep watching it, we wouldn't care where it was going. We would be like, all right, well, we're about to get there. It's a complete different experience when you can watch it all at the same time. Now, I understand what they're doing with The Boys, but I really don't. Because again, they could have people like you that just watch a couple and be like, you know what, I'm not watching them. Like, how many people just quit on the show?
Which show?
Almost like any show. I'm talking about when you start a show. How many people just quit?
Yeah.
Very rarely. You don't just quit. Not unless it has multiple seasons. But like, how many first seasons do you be like, I'm not on this show no more?
I'm really trying to remember the last weekly show that I thoroughly enjoyed and was like, I can't wait till next week. Post Game of Thrones.
Well, I mean, Game of Thrones was like a whole, 10 years?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Dexter?
No.
Sons?
Oh, after.
Post Game of Thrones, have we discussed a weekly show on this podcast?
Well, it just went off. It's not fair.
It went off a year ago.
This year doesn't count as a year.
This is the longest month ever.
This year stopped at March.
It hasn't resumed. Pretty much. This is still March. That's a hell of a month to be stuck in. March. So random. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm done on my tirade of binge versus weekly. It's what we got. It's where we're at. You could be right. I just could not be enjoying I could just not be enjoying my weekly shows. That's just not enjoying. Aside from the things that we discussed in depth, that we kind of spoiled, and the highlight shows, did anyone watch anything this week? Did they have any? What's your sleepers for this week?
I don't know if this would count as a sleeper, because I won't say that the movie was particularly good. But I watched that movie Cuties that had some controversy on social media. I'd say 2 or 3 weeks ago because of the cover art. But I sat down and I watched that movie last night. And I feel like it's more of a movie parents should watch.
Is it 13 Reasons Why?
No, it's not 13 Reasons Why. But the premise of it is you have this girl in Paris. She's Muslim, I believe. And she's 11. That's kind of the coming of age. During the movie, she gets her first period. But it's the over-sexualization of young girls, and kind of just how what they see plays such a big part in how they act. Because it's basically she's breaking away from her religion and joining with these girls' dance crew. But the things that they do on that movie, it makes you uncomfortable to watch. Because it's these are 11-year-olds. I'm not trying to watch an 11-year-old do this.
Which I heard was the point of the movie. I heard Netflix fumbled the ball with the cover art because the French cover art is completely different. I'm glad you actually brought this movie up. So Netflix fucked this up. The French cover art is completely different than what they put for the American cover art, which should not have been the cover art for any fucking thing. I would not watch anything with that cover art on it. And that's the reaction, the very visceral reaction that they got from Twitter. We're going to go off of Twitter. The backlash, why Netflix pulled that cover art, because it was very expletive of kids, very sexually expletive of kids. And it was immediately, what the hell kind of pedophilia movie are y'all fucking promoting? Netflix got a shit ton of hate over it, backlash over it.
There were parts in the movie, though, where you were kind of why? What is this? Not going to spoil it, but it's there's one scene where she had stolen a phone, and that's what she was using to do all her stuff. And they have this Instagram kind of platform. She just randomly takes a picture of her vagina and posts it on the internet. And she's like, yeah, you know, they're gonna think we're grown now. We're adults. They're not gonna call us kids anymore. And it was like, why did you have to do that?
They didn't show that, did they?
No, they didn't show her, like, her vagina. Clearly showed her going to the bathroom. Like, she was sitting on the floor, and, like, she took the picture. Like, you knew what was going on.
Okay, so back to what this movie was meant to be. I think is what you said. It was meant to be viewed by adults to have this conversation of, this is what is going on with children right now. Like, this is the kind of shit and the kind of pressure that children are under, especially girls, young girls, because of the age of Instagram and the need to be seen and feel popular and for likes and all that crap. The lengths that young girls, not even young girls, but grown women are going through to keep up, or feel like they need to keep up, that feel like that need to do that. So that's what the movie was supposed to be. I've seen people like Tessa Thompson spoke out about it and was saying that it sucks because this movie is a really great movie that should be seen, but because of the way Netflix handled it, because the lady who created it ended up deleting her social media accounts because she was getting hate and death threats and shit from people who hadn't even watched the movie.
I could understand why it's Muslim, I believe, community would have an issue, because I feel like a big part of the movie touches on how religion kind of
limits girl sexuality.
It limits it, and it also limits the conversations that are had, and it reworks
which is true,
how girls see their sexuality. Because there's a part where her mom is basically like, you know, because her dad went to go take a second wife.
Mm-hmm.
And her mom was like, you know, your role in life is to please the man. And like telling an 11-year-old that, it's like, where do you think that's supposed to?
Mm-hmm.
Why should that even be something said to an 11-year-old?
Or any age girl. But okay, all right. So that was your sleeper. Dexter, do you have a sleeper for this week?
I watched the majority of For Life, the 50 Cent executive produced, or I don't know what his role is, and I know that's his show, and it's a G Unit thing at the end. For Life on ABC. Have you guys watched?
Mm-mm.
Well, I'm at the same point that in season 1, so
I think it's a really well done show. I believe that there's a lot of power when you can make television compelling without having to move into a different setting all the time. This is majority in jail, you know what I mean, and flashbacks, and it's really good. It feels like when you used to watch CSI or something like that, where you have this, you know, you have the big story because the big story is he was falsely imprisoned, and looks like his homies, they both ratted on him, and one of them was an informant, and, you know, he has a ride or die, but the ride or die is, she's not a ride or die.
She said
she ride or die?
No. She was ride or die, not ride, die, or jail.
I understand. She's holding him down. She messes with his best friend, though. So I don't know how down she really is and how best he is of a friend. However, I think it's a well done show. I also watched the entire 2 seasons of The Mayan MC. I'm a big Sons of Anarchy guy. However, the first 2 episodes of The Mayans, when I tried to watch it when it came on, you know what I mean, weekly, it just wasn't doing it for me. However, me watching about 4 episodes in, you know, you start to get invested in the characters and what the characters are. And it's a lot of intertwined plots, I guess, that make it a real interesting show. I know you've seen it. Armani, have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
You did? Wait, The Mayans? You didn't watch?
Oh wait, no, I watched The Mayans.
I thought that we talked about The Mayans on this podcast, and I was talking about it by myself.
Yeah, so I've caught up, and I have seen The Mayans now. I thought it was a really good show. I want them to come back with some more.
Yeah, I don't remember, unfortunately, whether or not we discussed all of Mayans season 1 and 2 hidden in these There Will Be Spoilers podcasts.
I want to say we stopped mid-season 2, because that was around when I had like moved out, because we were trying to watch season 2.
Yeah, when you grew up, went off to college. So
no, that was after.
All right.
I'm sorry, Dexter. Were you done with your sleeper?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, one more thing I did watch. I watched Chadwick Boseman's movie, A Message from the King. which was it was predictable, but overall it was a good movie. Really good.
Okay. So I came prepared with one sleeper, and the two of y'all both dropped two. So I don't appreciate this change. this impromptu change that y'all just did. So now I feel pressure to come up with the second one, but I only wrote down one. So mine is going to be the movie Slice on Amazon Prime. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I love 80s cheesy sci-fi bad B movies. I realize that is my sweet spot genre. That's my happy place. That is my happy place genre. And this movie was very much that. It came out last year, I think it was. It stars Chance the Rapper and Zazie Betts, or however you pronounce her name. Deadpool, Domino from Deadpool. Yeah, 80s synthesizer music. It just looked like it was an 80s sci-fi movie. You deal with vampires and werewolves and who killed this pizza delivery guy. And the town, literally, there are people. There's human people. And then there's ghosts that walk around. There are vampires or witches that walk around. And there are werewolves. So very True Blood, but happy. Well, True Blood had happy moments too. But just think True Blood, a little more cheesy, campy type thing. This mystery. I enjoyed that movie a lot for that. I appreciated it.
Thought it was good. It was funny. Or, I don't know, it was interesting. It was good.
Yeah, I only
was
had
that on Amazon?
Yeah, it was on Amazon. So I liked it. I like Chance the Rapper as an actor now. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him. He played a werewolf in this that saved the day. Worse?
You shouldn't tell people that part. That was the worst part about it.
Okay. I was about to say the worst werewolf makeup I've ever seen, but it just goes back to being in line with being a cheesy bad B 80s. So if you
it looked like 80s thriller makeup.
Which was when I think I fell in love, to be honest. Like, as bad as it was, I was like, oh man, I'm here for this so much. Yeah, I only had one sleeper for this week. Watched a ton of shit, but we talked about the most. But yeah.
Oh, I have a third one.
Jesus Christ, we have more episodes of podcasts.
Well, okay, this is my last one. Because I finally got back into my little anime. I finished 3 in the seasons of Attack on Titan, but I watched and finished this new anime called The Promised Neverland. Where the premise of the show is like these kids are born in this orphanage for the most part, and they grow up thinking there's no outside world, and they just stay there until a family randomly selects them, and then they get shipped out. So really it's like a house, a big field around it, a forest, and there's like one gate. They're surrounded by a big brick like wall all around them. And come to find out, the kids are actually being used as like meat for these demons.
I asked you about this anime.
Oh, I didn't. I just watched
you about this. I was trying to pinpoint what show this was like 2 months ago. What was it called again?
The Promised Land.
Okay, yeah, I have been trying to find this.
And they had like the tattoos on their neck of the necklace.
I just knew the part about the kids in this place and they were being used for meat. And you were like, that sounds like something else. And I've been looking for that, so I might.
It's on HBO.
Attempt to watch it.
It's on HBO, English dub.
It's dubbed?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do dubbed. I can't do sub. I ain't got time for sub.
But it's really good. There's only about 12 episodes.
Oh, only.
They're like 20 minutes. Less than 20 minutes if you skip the intro.
Gotcha. Dexter, do you have any more sleepers you want to add?
Yes, actually. Did anybody watch Class Action Park on HBO?
No,
yeah.
I didn't.
Tell us about it.
Oh my. Armani, you're in for a treat. The world's most unsafe amusement park ever. It came out around, I think it was like 1986. And basically this was before the industry had safety standards. Mm-hmm. So he would just come up with ideas. The guy who made it, basically it was a guy. It's a documentary about a really unsafe park that had plenty of class action lawsuits, but nobody ever really got paid out because they didn't even have insurance.
Insurance was a scam.
They had scam insurance, yeah. But it's one of those things where basically the guy, he had like a ski resort and he wanted to make money when there wasn't, he actually was the first or one of the biggest producers of artificial snow. You know what I mean? Like he was really reaching to try to make sure that he got things filled up in his season. Anyway, so he would come up with ideas of certain things and then just have people make them. They had a slide, a loop, and people would get stuck on the top of the loop, or you would have...
Slow down. Here's where we need to take a moment. Not just stuck in the loop. They came out with lacerations because the previous person went through the loop and had their teeth knocked out, and their teeth got stuck in the lining. So people were going through and coming out with lacerations, and they were like, what's going on? So someone went through this ride and came out toothless. And that didn't get this park shut down.
I was saying they didn't say anything. They didn't.
No. Like,
at least
that's
want
the
my
thing.
teeth back.
And they would keep, you know how you go on like a tube ride right now with a raft or whatever. There's water in it, running down the actual slide. This was before they decided to make water run down the slide. So you were just going down the slide and it was dark. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't have lights yet. So you would just get banged up and then just hope that you were good at the end. They literally, the people were saying, it was all about going to Action Park and making sure and just hoping that you didn't get hurt. You know what I'm saying? And then it was run by teams. Just like, and I mean, all of these amusement parks are run by teams. But this one, it didn't seem to have adults at the top of the chain. It was literally just teenagers running the asylum. You know what I mean? So... And then not only that, it was also one of those places where you could just drop your kids off. Everybody would basically,
warning.
Like, yo.
Hey.
What'd you say?
I said trigger warning for Armani. Are you okay? A whole summer of her life was spent getting dropped off at Great Adventure.
And it's one of those, and you would go there, and this would be the unsupervised place. This is where you could go, and it would just be a whole bunch of kids everywhere, and you could kind of do whatever it is that you wanted to do. So if you were a badass kid, then you were about to go out there and cause mischief. If you were a good kid, you might go out there and get bullied. Like, it was one of them type of things. If you went out there, somebody might decide to jump you and beat the shit out you. And nothing would happen. That's the whole thing about it. Nothing would happen in the park because it was run by kids. They had people sliding off the slide and just off the slide.
Yeah. It should be noted, we're making very light and laughing about this, but people died.
Yeah. People got hurt. It was mad people got hurt. People died. People died from crunching up against the wall and hitting their head. It was all types of ridiculous stuff. Oh man, it was very interesting. They had a cliff, a thing where you could just jump off a cliff.
You went down and the dude was like, and all of a sudden you came out in the light and holy fuck, you're in the air.
Yeah, and then there would be somebody jumping on top of your back because they didn't even have nobody. People were drowning in the wave pool.
And they said that the wave pool was murky because of feces, blood, residue from Band-Aids, because like people would get cut and they would go spray stuff on them, whatever that makeshift antibacterial spray.
See, that's why I already don't go to water parks. Chlorine kills all that.
So they would clear out the wave pool every so often. They would have everyone come out so they could drag the bottom of the wave pool to make sure there was no bodies. Because you couldn't see it. You couldn't see if someone drowned. So basically, when the wave pool reopened, if you drowned in between there and the next check, you were freaking screwed. That's why I mentioned this theme park was in New Jersey.
Everything is legal in New Jersey.
Boom.
Yo, that was something else. I watched a lot of things last week, and that was one of the things that I watched. And boy, oh boy, I seen some crazy stuff. I can't say no more sleep. Did you want to end this? You ready to? Y'all got stuff to do. I got you. I understand.
Yeah. No doubt. So that's the end of the movie talk. But I feel like we should note a couple things outside of television and movies. One, Xbox has announced the price point and the release date of the Xbox Series S and Series X. It comes out November 10th, and price point is $299 and $499. The $299 model has a 512 gigabytes, 512 or 525. Feel free not to Google it, or Google it on your own. It's one and two. It's either 512 or 525. I feel like it's 512. Whatever.
I'm getting one.
Bruh, me and you both.
I'm just getting one, just cause.
The $299 is discless, which makes sense because they are selling Game Pass Ultimate. So I don't need a disc for my Xbox. Literally everything I want is on Game Pass. If you own an Xbox, you have Game Pass Ultimate, and that is literally all you need. You don't need to buy discs for your Xbox. Unless it's your DVD player or your entertainment system. But we're getting to the point where who's buying DVDs anymore? Like, we're almost to the who's buying DVDs stage of life.
Almost.
You're right. We might just be there.
Almost. You crazy?
What was the last DVD you bought?
Me?
Um,
I haven't bought. I think the last D I bought was I think I might have bought King Kong, not the Skull Island. King Kong, Naomi Watts, and
my.
yeah, because it was an HD. It's an HD DVD.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
before Blu-ray.
I still am a person who will go into Walmart and peruse the DVD section, and if there's a good like compilation disc DVD of something that's like $5 but contains like 6 movies that I really like, I'm probably gonna buy it. Like,
I think the last thing we got was the Purge series.
we did the Purge series. I bought True Grit. Was it True Grit? No.
The Mule.
The Mule. Yeah, we bought The Mule because Cynthia really likes Clint Eastwood movies. Fun fact.
I haven't even seen that.
Oh, yeah, she made me buy that DVD. But anyway, so back to Xbox and the discless system. So discless system is $299. The one that comes with the 4K Blu-ray player is going to be $499. Game Pass Ultimate is also going to come with EA Play, which, cool. I mean, it's $29.99 for the year for EA Play anyway. I stopped paying for it. Like, I did that for a year, and I didn't see the benefit because 10% off of a $69.99 game is what, somebody?
$6.
So
About
$6
$7.
times FIFA, Star Wars,
Madden. Harry Potter was an EA game.
Is it EA? Is that EA? Or well, now it's Lego.
Oh.
So now it's a WB game. What other EA games besides those 3 are people looking forward to?
The Sims is Maxis.
The Sims is an EA game. So we'll say The Sims. We'll throw
if the
that in there.
expansion packs were on there, I may take back and useless.
Yo, I'm with her though. I'm with her.
You do get a discount on DLC. So, okay.
Okay, so I can run it down for you. So we got FIFA 21, we got NHL 21, we got Star Wars Squadron, we have Madden 21, of course. You have UFC 4 coming out.
Okay.
I don't know what Rocket Arena.
Battlefield.
So we said Star Wars.
Oh.
Well, is there more than no? Is there 2 Star Wars games coming out?
The Fallen Order is already out, right?
Yes. Fallen.
The Command and Conquer is another movie. I mean, another thing they have. Need for Speed Heat. That's old too, right?
Yeah.
Plants vs Zombies. Yeah. Now they're talking about 20 titles.
All right. So 59. I'm talking about $60 games. So $59.99 times 10% was what?
You said $59.99 times 10%.
Oh, it's like $7.
$7. So 7 times 6 is
42.
So okay, it might be worth it then. I take it back. So because it's only
that's not each game though. Like I'm not saving $42 on a game.
But you're saving $42 in a year.
In 12. Okay, I get it.
That's what I was trying to say. It's $29. EA Play is $29.99 for the year.
What does it do again?
You get 10% off of brand new games.
Boom.
That's the biggest thing on there is the 10%. And that's what I was trying to find out. The biggest EA releases each year to make it worth buying a year are the sports games. So NHL, FIFA, MLB. I mean not MLB. The sports games, UFC. That's where they make the money. And if you pre-order them, you also get exclusive access to them, I think, like 10 hours early before release. So you do get early play, and you get discounts off deals. So maybe it is worth $29.99 a year.
Those are the games that are $40
when you seen Madden for $40?
All the time. Around Christmas. Maybe Madden gets their numbers up because they come out in August. You know what I mean? But if you didn't get an NBA 2K, and I know I just switched on to something else, but I'm just saying a game that I know that comes out, or a game like Call of Duty, I don't spend no more than like every time I buy all these games for Christmas every year. I don't spend no more than like $45 on none of them.
So you're among the adult gamers who don't buy it at release.
Yeah, I guess I am.
I honestly,
it's not a lot of me. There's more of you.
No, but I was about to say, but I've shifted to the you because I have games that I've bought and still have not. I have games I haven't played. That's ridiculous. Like I'm not paying full price for games anymore to not play them until they're on sale. So you do it the smarter way.
I mean, don't get it twisted. I only buy games. I don't really buy games throughout the year. I'm not a whole gamer. So, I'm not usually buying games unless it's around Christmas time.
Gotcha.
And I'm not even buying them for me. I'm buying them for the kids. Now, this year will be different because this year will be different. I think I'm going to end up buying 5 systems this year.
Dang, baller.
Well, I mean, because I got to get a PlayStation for myself. My sons want PlayStations. I think I'm gonna get an Xbox, and I think I might surprise my son with an Xbox too.
Well, let's just go listen to this podcast.
He ain't listening to this. Yeah, he ain't listening to this. However, yeah, I think I might grab him the digital or whatever. That way he can still like connect with his friends and the people that he's on. Because my son has an Xbox already, but he's switching. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's me and my son that did that, but whatever. We got PS4s, but he still has an Xbox. He's about to make the move. So I don't know. I don't know how this one is gonna be. However, they both got NBA 2K right now, and they got it. They actually got $100 at him because of the Mamba edition or whatever. But normally $40,
okay,
$45, $50 at tops.
So basically, if you are an Xbox user, it's just one more selling point for Game Pass Ultimate, which to me was already an amazing deal. There's no arguing against Game Pass at the end of the day. It's an amazing deal. If you have an Xbox, it's the selling point. That's what Microsoft is selling. They're selling Game Pass. So I just said that to say that EA Play, if you are on PlayStation at this point, because Game Pass Ultimate covers PC. So yeah, it's worth the $29.99 a year if you play those games at release. If you're a person, like you said, who waits till they're on sale, you're going to save more than your $7 anyway. So it might not even, that's not a point to make the jump from PlayStation to Xbox, basically. But it's in the features. We weren't even talking about that. So we got price points, we got release dates, we got what they look like, we got their memory sizes. Now we're just waiting for PlayStation to do the same. So hopefully soon we'll get release dates and price points for the two PlayStation 5 models that are out.
Putting a lot of pressure on your boys.
Pressure? Ain't no pressure. Ain't no pressure when you the greatest.
They put a lot of pressure on you. We got this solid state drive. We about to put out our prices first. You know what I mean? Y'all about to put out a price that's more expensive than theirs. It's gonna be rough.
Nah.
We already have grown-ups that are buying systems, so I think y'all are good. However,
also on the Xbox thing though, so there is this Xbox Microsoft All Access where you can go into, right now it's live in Best Buy, but it says it's coming to Target, Walmart, GameStop. I doubt it. But it's available in Best Buy. You can go in and put no money down, and you can pay either, I think, $24.99 a month for the $2.99 or $34.99 and walk out the door with no money up front and get you a next-gen Xbox. So,
oh, God.
Yeah, they're making that sure everybody gets an Xbox. You get an Xbox. You get an Xbox. So, yeah, that's an option. That's probably how I'm getting mine. I'm joking. I'm not. You know what? Honestly,
that sounds good. Sounds pretty good to me.
30. Yeah, I was about to say I might just get me a Series X if I can do it that way. I'm not dropping $500 at once. I feel better doing it $34 spread out. I won't miss that $4 a month. I won't even know that it's gone. I'm gonna feel that and one swipe. That's an amazing idea for people who are gonna get approved, and Best Buy approves everybody for fucking everything, so it don't even matter. It's gonna be just a matter of first come, first serve. Pre-orders go live, I believe, September 22nd. I did not write that down, but somewhere around September after the 20th, because I know there was a 2 in that number. Pre-orders are going to start for that. So, again, hopefully soon there'll be some PlayStation announcement, because part of that whole thing is who can hold out on releasing their stuff the longest. I think that's corny, quite frankly. I don't like it. I think it's just give people the price point so they can start saving money. If they're gonna pre-order it earlier rather than later. This way you know how many you need to make. Like, don't be having people wait until the last minute.
Yeah, I don't understand the point of putting out the pre-order thing. I don't know. It's just like, make the system. You've had all this time. Just make the system. Put the system out. Let people get. So what you're telling me is that we're gonna be scrounging around for PlayStations this year, and they're gonna be selling $1,000 PlayStations because can't nobody get one. Like,
no, they're not gonna be. I mean, I think honestly, the price point's gonna be the exact same thing. I think I think $4.99 was where it was personally my guess. I don't know shit. Let me preface, I don't know anything. I don't know this to be true. This is my personal opinions and thoughts. This is not the opinions or knowledge of anyone at SIE. I personally figured that $4.99 was going to be the price point anyway. I don't really think someone is sitting somewhere at Sony like, oh shit, now we got to lower the price tag. I think these systems were going to be a loss anyway, and they were going to make the money up on the software and the games. Xbox is going to make their money up on Cloud and Game Pass, PlayStation's gonna make their money up on physical and DLC and exclusive. Like that's been the game. Like that's been the case. It's worked. It ain't about to change. So I think that's my favorite thing, regardless. So I think the prices are gonna be the exact. Now as far as availability, COVID fucked that up. We know that. Like when China shut down and now you can't get parts out, parts made, that hurt. I think that's what hurt everybody. It's like, oh wait, now we got to deal with what we got on hand already in March, and I can't imagine there was very much on hand externally because you have to wonder when did they design that physical outside? Like when was that finalized? So when did that body go into play? We could have had parts for other stuff, but whatever. We're not. It's a lot of technicality shit we don't even need to get into. But we're gonna end this up with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Did anyone watch the trailer?
No, I have not watched it yet.
Dexter, did you watch the trailer? Well, okay. So, for those that didn't watch the trailer, it's amazing. You can go on to, I think it's Activision's Twitch or Call of Duty's Twitch, and you can watch a long stream of an extended trailer that shows multiplayer. You can watch live gameplay that is played on a PS5. When I tell you that shit looks amazing, it looked amazing on my phone. I want to watch this on a 4K TV. Looks amazing. It's Call of Duty. We know it's going to be amazing. Couple points that I found interesting about the game. There is a VIP escort mission, which is a new addition to the game. It is a 6v6 level where one of the players on one of the teams is considered a VIP. So the mission is to one team. Your mission is to escort this person across the map to a location safely. Someone plays as the VIP. The VIP doesn't have full weapons, ammo. Like you get very limited kit and shit. Like so you have to rely on your team to protect you. So you have to play as a team. And then the other 6 people are trying to kill said VIP. I'm looking cool.
That sounds dope.
It does. The VIP only gets a kitted out pistol, a smoke grenade, a UAV for team intel, and the satisfaction of having up to 5 other squad mates defend them. That's all you got.
That sounds dope. Very dope.
It's like I'm looking forward to playing that.
I wish they'd bring couch co-op back.
Ooh, what? I agree. That'd be dope.
No. This is the technicality though. You can play co-op with Warzone, couch co-op. You can play couch co-op with multiplayer, but you can't play couch co-op with co-op.
With Spec Ops, I think.
The part that says co-op, when you go click co-op, it goes, oh no, we don't do that here.
Yeah.
But I just played split screen on Warzone, and I don't want to play Warzone, but all right.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm mad. Game's going to be $70, right?
Yes, for the PS5 version and the Xbox Series S for X version. The next gen versions will be $79.90 or $69, and the current gen models will be $59. So the $10 price difference in next gen games. But we've already experienced that if you pre-ordered 2K for your PS5, then you already know that. But if you were smart, you would have just brought it on current gen, and you got a digital code. If you bought the Mamba edition, you got a digital code for the PS5. But whatever. The other new thing to Call of Duty that I do like is Combined Arms. It is a 12v12 battle that combines regular ground battle with being in vehicle. So
we can drive vehicles.
You will be able to use helicopters, tanks, trucks, snowmobiles, and have like real legit firefights using vehicles in them. There is some footage of this gameplay on that Twitch stream. It's amazing. Those 2 modes I'm looking forward to. I like the idea of them. Zombies has been confirmed. There is a sneak peek of zombies, a very short, it's there kind of peek. One thing I do like, which some people are going to hate, this is going to be either you love it or you hate it. And I'm in the I love it because I'm old genre. Score streaks are going to have cooldown periods. So people can't just spam score streaks anymore. So for those of you who are amazing at run and gun and get like mad streaks because you kill me like 10 times every time I respawn in the same spot, you can't keep using those kill streaks back to back. So that's
trash.
Yeah. Which is why I only play Spec Ops, play Wars. Yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. People are gonna hate that, no doubt.
They are, because they got to do things for make handicap rules. Literally have to give you guys. They got to give you guys some edge so that y'all will feel like y'all can compete. And I'm talking like I'm good. I'm trash too, but I'm not mad. Armani, you play Call of Duty?
Nah.
No,
I suck at online shooting games. I don't have the patience for it.
I get that. No, I mean, most of it, if you don't play all the time, then you probably trash.
I'm good at zombies.
I'm trash at everything.
So no, you're not. That's not.
I'm alright. I can
I've-
shoot a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen you hold your own on like outside of Spec Ops.
Yeah, all right. Me and you both, we are holding the team down.
I didn't say. If I hold them down, you mean hold them back?
Yeah, holding them on the ground. Holding like we're weights. You know what I'm saying? We sandbags, no water. Like,
Except for on Spec Ops. We kill it on Spec Ops.
yeah, we alright on Spec Up.
All right, so we've covered movies, we've covered TV, we've covered gaming, we've covered anime. Does anyone have anything else that's gone on in the last 2 weeks that we should mention? We'll talk about new music. What y'all listening to?
Let me see. I'm pulling up my.
Nas dropped a really good album. Shout out to Hit Boy. Hit Boy did the production on an entire Nas. I like it. I haven't really liked the Nas album right off the bat the way that I like this one. Nas with good beats. It's pretty dope.
I've listened to some of it. I haven't listened to the entire album. I do like what I've heard more than the last Nas album, so I would agree.
Big Sean came out. That's all I got.
Jaden Smith had a new album come out. Which is pretty good if you're into him.
What's that?
Jaden Smith had a album come out. It was pretty good if you're into that.
Yeah, Jaden's nice.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's a podcast.
That's a podcast.
So until next time, take care of yourselves and be good to each other.